Welcome to the Soul Health Mentor Podcast. I'm Nadia Krauss, author of From Dreaming to Done and founder of Soul Health Mentor and Company. Here we bring the human and the soul together. We talk about finishing the dream your soul has never let go of through embodiment, clarity, and wholeness, because we are souls having a human experience, not in exchange for, but in inclusion of. This is the Soul Health Mentor way. Welcome to the Soul Health Mentor Podcast. And this week's episode, Self-Actualization, the missing piece of manifesting. Hello, beautiful soul, strong heart, deeply human dreamer. In today's episode, I want to explore an idea that has been quietly evolving in my work for years. I believe self-actualization is the missing piece of manifesting, and it's not something that gets talked about. Manifesting has helped millions of people believe that a different future is possible. We have the documentary, The Secret, to thank for that. When I was 11 years young and my father was in his 50s, and just to give you some context, I'm 51 years old. So this was literally 40 years ago. So 40 years ago, my dad talked about manifesting. And The Secret didn't exist yet. So manifesting wasn't a mainstream conversation. And it was definitely required to become a mainstream conversation so that millions of people can believe in a different future for themselves. So I call this dream awakening. And at society at large, as it is today in 2026, dream activation has become this mainstream thing. And that is wonderful. But what happens after the dream awakens? Hardly anybody talks about that. How do we actually become the person who can live what we've imagined? Today, I'm going to answer that question by sharing 7 quotes with you that beautifully capture the different stages of the From Dreaming to Done soul map spiral. And together, they reveal why I believe self-actualization is what carries a dream from possibility to lived reality. So let's begin. If I had to place manifesting within the soul map spiral, I'd say it lives primarily in the first 2 stages. And just in case you don't know the soul map spiral from my book, which is called From Dreaming to Done, a soul map for finishing what you were born to do, the 7 phases of a soul map spiral is the dream spark, the soul yes, the spiral step in, the preservation chamber, the alignment check-in, the expression gate, and integration done. So if I were to place manifesting into the soul map spiral, I would say, which manifesting is the dream activation, right? It's you imagining a better life for yourself. That's that mainstream consciousness that we now have, which is wonderful, right? That's the dream spark. That's your soul, yes. And the other things, the self-actualization as the new manifesting, that's what's not talked about largely. So I'm talking about it. All right. So dream spark and soul, yes, those are your awakening feelings, like the feeling of a dream awakening, the excitement. It feels really sexy. And then the spiral step in is you taking that first action towards your dream. And that can still feel really exciting. This is where self-actualization begins. And in the last episode in this podcast, I took a deep dive into why do I say self-actualizing is the new manifesting and what the German word Selbstverwirklichung and Lebenskünstler has to do with self-actualizing as the new manifesting. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, I'd highly recommend. These 2 episodes pair very well together. So check it out. The dream spark is the awakening, as we've already established. The soul yes is where manifesting lives. right? So it's the awakening and the potential. That's like super sexy. And that's something that has anchored into the consciousness of our society today, especially those people that are interested in self-development, in bettering themselves, in living their best lives, in showing up, in growing and expanding. I'm not saying that everybody knows about the law of attraction. I'm not saying that everybody knows about manifesting, but most definitely those beautiful hearts and souls that were touched by The Secret, the documentary. The spiral step in is where self-actualization begins. I want you to imagine the quotes that I'm going to share with you as a lived reality so you can realize how and where dreams potentially die or suffocate and get stuck. So, the dream spark as awakening, I'll share this quote with you. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. So, right here, a dream can suffocate, die, or get stuck. And let me explain why I say this. You have a dream spark. You're super excited because you feel inspired and you can feel your body come alive. And then you tell a trusted friend or a trusted family member about your dream and they talk you down. They talk you down by, I'm going to give you my example. So when I first felt the spark of writing a book and sharing my message and having this vision of, I'm going to write a book and I'm going to share my message and I'm going to build a business around it. When I first shared that with someone that was important to me, it was a friend, someone I was working with, and I shared that dream. I did not get the mutual excitement, the mutual, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. Yes, this is your potential that wants to be lived. No, because that wasn't even understood, because there is such a thing as societal conditioning. So this friend of mine just kind of, this was back in Germany, and Germans can be very pragmatic and very critical, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, his response could have potentially suffocated my dream. And if I allowed that suffocation to continue, it would have died. It would have gone nowhere. So, what my friend said is, why do you want to write a book? Why don't you just get a job? It'll be so much easier and better for you. And that really hurt. So, this friend didn't believe in a future that belongs to the dreams we have and the beauty and potential that our dreams hold. Let's go to the next layer of the soul map spiral. The soul, yes, as manifesting. Above all, choose to be the heroine of your life, not a victim. Nora Ephron. Right here, your dream can suffocate, potentially die, because victimhood is so widespread. And victimhood is a mentality, it's a consciousness, and it's not it can become an identity, but the way I'm talking about it is not as an identity, not as a final verdict that you can never change. And in my follow-up book, that my companion book, From Dreaming to Done, A Soul Map for Finishing What You Were Born to Do, was giving you the map of the soul map spiral, which now you know that the map of the soul map spiral includes the awakening and the manifesting, like the believing that you can have better, do better, be better. But that self actualization is actually what moves your dream forward. And if we have 7 layers and phases of the soul map spiral and only 2 serve manifesting, then you can already see that there's 5 layers of self-actualization, realizing your potential and showing up for it and living it and doing the empowerment and healing work required to become the person that finishes what they were born to do. So that was book 1. So book 1 gave you the map. The companion book is going to give you the perspective of why do you keep stepping off the map? Why does your soul yes keep suffocating and dying? And when your soul yes doesn't drive you, then a dream dies. Because self-actualizing and manifesting a dream is not easy. It's why so many never realize their potential, never make manifest their heartfelt dreams and their potential. So, above all, choose to be the heroine of your life, not a victim, is the introduction of the drama triangle in my companion book. So, it is the introduction. How do you continuously connect to your soul? Yes. And the drama triangle is a social model that was developed by a psychologist, Stephen Karpman. And Stephen Karpman introduces this social model as the triangle of victim, rescuer, fixer, perpetrator. And like I said, it's not a final identity, it's just psychological roles and energies that we take on. Now, we aren't taught how to step out of the drama triangle, and that's why I wrote the companion book, The No Drama Path to Living What You Were Born to Do. And I'm so excited. It will be launching very, very soon. Maybe you're finding this podcast after it launched. Maybe you're finding the podcast just as I'm preparing for launch. So I'm hoping to launch in August of 2026. And I will be introducing you to the no drama path to completion, which introduces you to the antidote so that you can choose to be the heroine of your life and not stay stuck in the victim role or the victim mentality or even the rescuer and fixer role that eventually becomes the victim role when the rescuer and fixer sets boundaries to the person that they've been rescuing and fixing, then that person could potentially turn on you and make you the perpetrator. So, more about that soon. I'm also excited to let you know that there will be a whole podcast series, the No Drama podcast series, where we'll dive deeper into the chapters and practices of becoming the sovereign creator of your life. Above all, choosing to be the heroine of your life, not a victim. The spiral step in layer 3 as self-actualization. When a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower. Alexander Den Heyer. And what does that mean? As soon as you step into the spiral, after your dream spark alive, after your soul star, your soul, yes, that lives in your soul star, you're devoted to it now, you're stepping into the spiral. You will be confronted with all the things that do not support your dream. And first, it will be the internal environment. So you need to clean up there. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not failing. You're not late. None of that is true. It's just the internal environment of belief systems or social conditioning that continuously tells you so and poisons the little seed that you planted into the soil. So here, the dream can suffocate and die or get stuck, just like it could suffocate and die and get stuck in the last layer. So you see, every layer presents an invisible threshold that challenges you. And after you take care of your internal environment, there is going to be the requirement of external environment coming into alignment with the internal environment. And that's where we get to the next layer, the preservation chamber as self-actualization. When you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings you joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. Jean Shinoda Bolen. That's the next quote. So when you discover and recover your dream, your heart's wishes, your soul desires, then you need to care enough about yourself and the dream and the heart's wish to keep showing up, to keep making room for it in your life, to keep building that environment that will help your dream and your desire thrive. And that's the potential. So I'm also going to talk about something here that doesn't get widely talked about when it comes to manifesting or dream activation or the sexy feeling of the potential coming alive in you, like the potential of a better life and the potential of something manifesting for you and improving your life. So, the awakening of a dream, especially a soul dream, doesn't always happen through inspiration and excitement and a sexy feeling. It sometimes can arise from pain, wanting better, like I require, desire, and deserve better than this. And it can come from a really painful place. So that is also recovering and discovering something. The dream spark could be, I deserve better. There's gotta be better than this. So it's not always inspiring. That's important to know as you walk the soul map spiral from dreaming to done, all the way from dream spark to soul yes, to spiral step in, to preservation chamber. And now we're in the alignment check. And as a reminder, the manifesting part, the sexy part, the inspirational part, that what gets sold to you as inspirational, that is just the soul yes and the dream spark and the soul yes. And I read a quote somewhere. I'm not sure if it was I don't know who said it, so author unknown, but I did read this in one of my planners, and it was a calendar, a planner. The dream is free and the hustle gets sold separately. So what gets sold to you is the dream spark and the soul yes, the inspiration. And then there is hustle that gets sold separately. It might come in form of a coaching program or an up level, like buying a book, buying another product, or I don't know, just as a cookie cutter template, like do this and you will have that. From Dreaming to Done, a soul map for finishing what you were born to do, and the companion book, The No Drama Path to Living What You Were Born to Do, aren't cookie cutter answers. And your dream is absolutely unique to you. In the last podcast episode, I talked about that. I talked about how we can follow dreams that society sells us, and then we hustle and we make them come true. I've done that several times, and then we get there and it feels misaligned. It feels draining. It doesn't feel sustainable. So now we are in the next layer of the soul map spiral, the alignment check in as self actualization. Find the clarity and understanding to lift your spirit and dream without straying into equivocation. That's a quote by me, Nadia Shana Kraus. And you might not know the word equivocation. It actually was something, it was a word and a reflection, a mirror that a mentor gave me, and I loved it. And it is the deliberate use of vague, ambiguous, or double meaning language to avoid the truth or taking a clear stance. When society sells you the dream for free, the dream spark and the soul yes, when society at large offers inspiration and dream activation, it had its place. Absolutely. Please know that it had its place. Manifesting absolutely had its place, like the manifesting language, right? The Secret, the documentary. Absolutely. We need to be given a permission slip to dream bigger. However, when it comes to marketing and selling, in the online space especially, there can be a lot of what shines isn't always gold. And there can be a lot of illusion that is sold, the illusion of it's so easy to build a business. It's so easy to follow your dreams. It's so easy to live a van life. It's so easy. And that is equivocation. It's double meaning language to avoid the truth or taking a clear stance. So I'm telling you as it is. I am not pretending that it doesn't take courage to self-actualize as the new manifesting and to make your dreams come true. I am not pretending that. I have bold compassion for being stuck in a situation that has you feel like a victim, or that has you feel like you have to rescue and fix, that has you feel like you can't speak your boundaries because you're going to be made out the perpetrator or someone is going to react to you. I have bold compassion for that because I've been there. I've lived it. I've been the people pleaser that rescues and fixes. And I had to do the deep dive work of realizing it was a survival mechanism that I developed as a child to survive as a child because I'm dependent on my caretakers. So the next layer, the expression gate as self-actualization, is you speaking your boundaries and honoring that when the personality comes fully to serve the energy of its soul, that is authentic empowerment. Gary Zukov. You speaking your boundaries, you speaking your truth is you honoring that your soul is boss, your heart is boss, and your heart and soul serve your human personality and your deeply human dreamer self. It is not your ego that is in charge. And for me, ego is anything that is conditioned and rationalized and not who you truly are in soul essence, in heart. And you will need to show up for your dream in self-actualization to manifest the reality and live it. And self-actualization means the realization of your potential, and that feels uplifting and makes you feel alive, but also the realization of self, the invisible thresholds where your dream keeps getting stuck or suffocating until it eventually dies. And the beautiful thing, though, is that just like in nature, every year nature dies. Right? The leaves fall off and they die and everything goes dormant. But every spring, nature shows us rebirth. So death has within it transformation and rebirth. So when something dies, it can be reborn and it can absolutely manifest as your deepest desire. And that's also the nature of a soul dream, of a heart's wish. It actually never goes away. So the first time I had that soul desire and that heart's wish of writing a book that will build a business, will build my life's work, was at age 27. 27. I voiced that to this friend. And the very first solo book that was published was at age 26. So I got a whole bunch of rounds of from dreaming to done. I got a whole bunch of rounds and practice in of the manifesting part, the dream spark, the soul, yes, but then the self-actualization, lather, rinse, repeat, continuously spiral stepping in to the dream and to committing and to showing up with devotion and the preservation chamber. That's where the empowerment and healing work shows up, and the alignment check-in to check in and to just really ask myself, is this still aligned to what I actually desire? And this often happened after I manifested dreams that weren't truly mine. And so I practiced the all the seven layers over and over again. And now integration done as self-actualizing in the practice of manifesting what I desire, require, and deserve literally became my life's work. After the magic of transformation, igniting and manifesting your soul desires, the next book showed up. From Dreaming to Done, a soul map for finishing what you were born to do. Now the companion book, The No Drama Path to Living What You Were Born to Do, is showing up. So what I felt as a dream spark at age 27 asked of me 18, 19, 20 years of self-development and growth. And the amazing thing is, it no longer needs to take you 20 years, because that's what happens when we trailblaze our own path and when we listen to our heart and soul and what we are here for, what we are here to create, what we are born to do, and we listen with courage and we show up in self-actualization as the new manifesting, then our work serves others, and it is a faster pace to getting where you want to go. It's like we trailblaze a path. I'm going to use a German analogy, and I don't know what the English word is, so I'm just going to do my best. Trampelpfad. Trampeln actually means stomping, und Pfad is a path. So it's like a stomping path. You know how grass, when many, many people stomp on it, it becomes a path. And when many, many more people stomp on it, then it actually literally becomes like no more grass grows there, because now it is a really, really clear path. That's what a trailblazer does for us. They clear the path so others can follow, and it's a much smoother walkway. So, layer number 7, integration done as self-actualization. An empty lantern provides no light. Self-care is the fuel that allows your light to shine brightly. Author unknown. Your dream, as your heart and soul have envisioned for you, that is a dream that is sustainable. That's the difference between an ego dream, something we've been conditioned to believe will bring us success and fulfillment. Whenever I manifested and self-actualized that, I got to the end of the road. I had manifested and self-actualized a new reality, and it was exhausting, not fulfilling, and not sustainable. So the opposite of depression and not fulfilling your dream is expression. So self-actualizing as the new manifesting asks you to express your potential so much over and over again by doing your dream, that it becomes realized, that it becomes reality, lived life. And once you do that, it's a life that is sustainable, a dream that is sustainable. So the opposite of success, the opposite of, I wouldn't say that, I forget what I wanted to say. I just wanted to say that true success is sustainable, because who wants to manifest and self-actualize something that is draining, that is not fulfilling, that takes so much effort to uphold? I surely don't want that. And I just speak from my experience. I've done that, and then the dream collapsed because it wasn't a true, heartfelt, authentic soul dream. So from dreaming to done and the soul map spiral is a process that supports your heartfelt dreams. It supports manifesting. That does not happen overnight because it takes you continuously showing up for your potential and living it in real time through self actualization over and over again. And then when the moment arrives and your dream has become real as a lived reality, then it's actually also the time to celebrate because now it's not just a mindset of pushing and hustling and doing more and doing harder. No, in self-actualizing as manifesting, it's actually the embodiment of your dream. So remember, if mindset is king, embodiment is queen. Enjoy this moment. Embrace your new reality by being present in it, by living it. So that's the soul map spiral in its entirety. And that's why I believe self actualization is the missing conversation when it comes to manifesting what you require, desire, and deserve. And if this is your first time here in the podcast, hello, my name is Nadia, and I work with visionary leaders, creators, and soul led entrepreneurs who are ready to bring their life's work all the way through from dreaming to done. And what do I mean by that? Life's work just means it's a dream spark that doesn't go away. My dream spark at age 27, it wouldn't go away. It wouldn't go away, and it took 18, 19, 20 years to fully come online. And what I didn't know back then is that it's possible to walk all the way from dreaming to done, bringing your life's work through and online. All of that is possible while living your best, richest, and most joyous life. It doesn't take hustle, pushing, and working harder. That is not what your heart and soul want for you. So, this podcast will be continuously talking about from dreaming to done, about self actualization as the new manifesting, so that you can finish what truly matters and that you can be introduced to dream completion. Dream completion. How do we finish what was activated? Dream activation, there's so much out there. But how do we finish what wants to come through, what the whispers that don't stop? So I'm going to end this episode with a question. What inner threshold or thresholds have you discovered through this podcast episode? Remember how I said at every phase and layer of the soul map spiral, there's a potential for your dream suffocating, for your dream getting stuck, for your dream dying. And just because it dies in the moment, it doesn't mean it lets you go. It won't, just like nature, there will be a death and a transformation and rebirth cycle. So it's just about speeding up the process. It doesn't have to take you 18, 19, or 20 years to finally finish what wants to come through. I also want you to ask yourself, where is your dream currently suffocating and dying or getting stuck? I think I'm repeating myself. Here at Soul Health Mentor, we honor the dream your heart and soul began and find the invisible thresholds that stop completion. If you'd like support exploring this more deeply, you can Google Soul Health Mentor on Linktree and visit my Linktree, and there you will find all kinds of doors. I want you to click on the door that says the work or client testimonials, and there you can read about the Soul Map initiation, and you can discover how it can help you bring your body, mind, heart, emotions, purpose, and soul back into alignment so you can move your dream from dreaming to done. This is the Soul Health Mentor way. Thank you so much for being here. You matter. And whatever is whispering through you, it matters. And here we finish what matters. Thank you for being here. If something in this conversation stirred your body, whispered to your heart, or woke up a dream you've been carrying, that's not random, that's resonance. If you want to walk this path with me and join a community of grounded visionaries learning to finish what their soul began, download your Soul Map gift by visiting soulhealthmentor.com and clicking on the book icon. And if you loved this episode, share it with someone whose dream deserves to be finished, or write a review of your experience on Apple Podcasts or Amazon Music. Here we root and rise together, one completed dream at a time.